What if I told you that After Effects wasn't as big, bad, and scary as you think? Hi, my name is Asia. I'm a graphic designer and an illustrator who is now chasing my dreams to become a world class animator. Yes, a world class animator. Recently, as I explained in my previous video, I took the opportunity to take some free motion classes that my university offers for alumni. And in my first episode, I would like to go over the basics of what I've learned so far and hopefully help you understand that After Effects really isn't that scary to begin. Now, trust me, as someone who has known about After Effects for a really long time but hasn't had the guts to jump in and learn it, I understand that you might still be hesitant to jump in. But hey, it's okay. I got you. I know it might be overwhelming to start if you're not given a basic framework of organizing the learning process in the very beginning. So, I would like to walk you through my understanding one baby step at a time. So, the first huge concept I want to go over is the importance of STRAP. STRAP is essentially an acronym to help you remember the hotkeys for each property, and STRAP is used in literally everything people animate. STRAP represents scale, opacity, rotation, anchor point, and position. So for opacity, I prefer to say transparency because O and T doesn't really click in my brain and I'm not going to remember that. So for you, I would like you to practice transparency. Scale, transparency, rotation, anchor point, and position. So let's jump into After Effects so I can give you a brief overview of the software. So this is what the interface looks like in Adobe After Effects. This is where you'll be putting your files. You'll be opening your files. You can double click, open up your files in there. This is where you'll be working. This is where all the layers will be displayed. This in here, you have effects, some stuff that I don't even understand yet. Maybe you're already familiar with After Effects. If you are, more power to you. But I am still a beginner. But this is where your animation will show up in here. I would like to note that if you are using an Illustrator file, like a vector file to animate, you do have to separate all the layers and get it ready for After Effects, or else it'll come in as one flat file and you will not be able to animate anything with that. Okay, so I have my separated file now. I'm going to double click in this project panel and I'm going to go find it. And before you open this file per se, it has layers, it is separated, but if you don't click import as composition, retain layer sizes, it will come in flat regardless. So make sure that is clicked and then you can press open here. And then once that's in the project panel, you can double click on this and it'll open all of the layers as you see in the working area. But let's lock these and let's focus on the woman. So I'm going to go over the properties we spoke about. So STRAP, scale, transparency, rotation, anchor point, and position. Now I don't really use anchor point. I use anchor point up here in this pan behind where you can choose where you want your anchor point to be. If you press Y, that's the hotkey for it, and you can move this wherever you want it. You can click on command, hold on command, and it'll snap wherever you need that to be. I'm going to move the anchor point and snap it down to the bottom because I'm going to animate her popping into the scene. And so that I know which layer I'm on, I'm going to change the color. This helps with organization, and I tend to use it. So, okay, that's locked. Okay, so let's hit S on the keyboard and it opens scale. Now, when you scale, it's going to be linked, but you have the ability to unlink that. And this is the X and this is the Y. So I'm going to take her down to 0 for the Y. And that is going to be my first frame. Make sure you hit the stopwatch to activate the keyframes. And then let's say 15 frames away, I'll have her pop up. Okay, I made her a little larger than she was originally because I want her to bounce in. I don't want her to just grow and stop abruptly. It's not going to look good. So I usually go a little over 100% and then I take it a little further, take it down to 90%. And then I take it a little further and I bring her back to 100. So that gives the illusion that she's popping into the scene. And yes, it's a little slow, but you can select these points and you can bring them forward. You can adjust them accordingly based off of, what you think looks right. Yeah. I'm still learning animation. I'm still learning what looks right for these types of things. So give me a moment. And no, that's not what I wanted. Okay, that's decent. That's pretty decent. So I'm going to actually add motion blur on this. And I know I'm getting into things that I didn't mention before, but this here is motion blur. And it's really simple. All you have to do is press on it and it'll add motion blur to make it look a little more realistic instead of, it gives it that effect that it's like moving really fast. It's really not, but there you go. We have her coming up, that's scale. Now let's see if I wanted to do opacity. Let's do opacity on another layer actually. Let's lock that and go to fire. Let's change this color to red and let's open up opacity. T on the keyboard. T. All right, so let's start with, let's say 0. Okay, let's click on that stopwatch to add a keyframe and maybe we'll have it come in and out of the scene. It's not going to look great, but I want to show you how this would look. All right, let's go a little further. We can also copy keyframes. Command C and then Command V. It'll place that copy where your scrubber is, your time scrubber. Let's see opacity. Maybe we want it to keep going. Okay, maybe we want to select all of these, copy them, and then paste them. Okay, so that's opacity. That's a great one. All right, what's the next one? Our rotation. Let's try rotation on the tent this time. It's locked. Okay, let's change the color to, I don't know, green to match the tent. And let's go into rotation. So R on the keyboard. R on the keyboard for rotation. Let's say we place a keyframe here. We want it to rotate upside down. Okay. Now it's going to rotate upside down. That's insane. Oh my gosh. That's rotation, and this just means over here, that's the amount of times it'll circle throughout the entire time frame. So if you want it to be like, say like, well, actually I want to put that over here. Put it like, Say I wanted to spin 10 times, you can press that in there and at the very end, and it'll just continuously spin. And it glitched in the beginning because I have this keyframe here. But if you get rid of that, and it's very slow. So let me take that over here and let's possibly make it spin 50 times in the time frame that we have. So 15 seconds, it spins 50 times. It's going to spin really fast. See if we put motion blur on that. Let's see what that does. That's pretty cool. So, it's pretty interesting what you can do with these properties, the S.T.R.A.P properties. And anchor point, as I said, I don't really use that one, but position is a huge one. So let's go forest camping. Let's go to trees. Yeah, let's go to trees. Maybe make it purple and then press P, and the X and Y is separated on mine. I don't know why, but you can right click it and click on this separate dimensions and it'll put it back together. Let's see, I want to move it over here, bring it up, you bring it down. Put a keyframe. Let's say we want it to go away. When you move your scrubber, let's say forward, and you change something in this property panel, it will automatically create that keyframe for you. So let's see what we made so far. That is a mess, but I hope I am showing you some valuable information that you can possibly mess around with. So those are the S.T.R.A.P properties that I personally use. I use a lot of the scale, opacity, rotation. I don't really use anchor point. I don't really know what that's for yet, but I use position a lot as well. I think it's very important for you to know and to practice if you're just starting out in After Effects. And right now, I'm currently working with masking and text animation. So I can show you some examples that I've done so far. So before I get into the examples of my more advanced work, I would like to show you right here what I was capable of doing with just the S.T.R.A.P properties, just with scale, transparency, rotation, anchor point, and position. I was able to create this badge logo animation. And I believe if you have the knowledge of these basic principles, that you can do this too. If you have any questions, please comment down below and let me know what I can do better to explain, because I would really like to share with you that it is not that intimidating as long as you know where to start your learning process. I feel like anyone can do awesome things in After Effects. Hello, it's actually me from the future. And I realized that I wanted to show you a little bit more. I wanted to show you, if you did practice on your own, how to save and render the file, as well as just give you an example of my more advanced work where I use masking techniques. I use text animation. What else did I use? I added sound effects, music, all of that cool stuff. So here, let me show you real quick. So that's all cool and fun, but when you're done with your animation, what you can do is you can go to File, you go to Export, you can either do Add to Adobe Media Encoder Queue or Add to Render Queue, and I usually do Add to Render Queue because it's faster in my opinion. This opens up the Adobe Media Encoder, which is a whole nother program, and it saves it out there. I'm going to choose to do this. I've rendered this once before already, but my recording did not save, so I'm redoing this, and there's a bunch of saves. This is probably going to take a minute, but once you have, I put H.264, and you click this and you choose where you want to save it, and that's pretty much all I do to save. And then I click render, and it'll automatically save you that MP4 video file. So let's click render and wait for this to render again. Wow! That's the good sound. That means that it rendered properly, and it'll automatically create that MP4 video file for you. I hope that helps you. Now, if you like what I've been showing you, stay tuned for the next video where I go through my work process of completing an assignment I have for class, which deals a lot with masking. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Like and subscribe if you like what I have to offer on this channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.